Good evening. Welcome back to 102.7 Chop FM. We are the Nerds of the North. DJ Padawan here.
And I'm DJ Bonobo.
So what we started us off with here today, in honor of the second Hobbit film coming out this Friday, that would be The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, we decided to give you guys some music from the first Hobbit. That was from Howard Shore and the cast of The Hobbit, namely the Dwarven cast. We started off with Blunt the Knives and moved on to Misty Mountains. So, definitely two great earworms of a song.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And I do believe the soundtrack for the second Hobbit movie was just released on iTunes 2 days ago.
Fantastic.
Which obviously you're gonna wait until after the movie's released, probably, to purchase a soundtrack. You don't want to spoil all the music for the movie.
Precisely. The thing that I like about The Hobbit is the songs,
Yeah.
so I'm going to wait until I see them in the theater.
Yep.
Well, as is our tradition apparently on this show here, we're going to start off with some movie news. And we have The Amazing Spider-Man 2 has released their teaser trailer. This teaser trailer reveals more about Peter's father's history, particularly his history with Oscorp, and apparently the dark things that he found out that Oscorp is doing. And in my previous episode here I said, the villains look like they're going to be Electro and the Green Goblin. Well, the full teaser trailer here actually shows a third villain that the Nerdenice is saying that they completely screwed up. They show you the Rhino, but what they're showing you as the Rhino is a man in a suit of armor that looks like a tank. That wasn't the Rhino. Not at all. The Rhino was more like Juggernaut. Why can't you get things right? Seriously? It's Spider-Man. It's not that hard. Also, there is another 300 movie coming out. This is 300 Rise of an Empire. It looks like they're trying to do exactly what they did with the first 300. Make it the standard slow-mo obsessed action film.
Yeah, I checked out the trailer, and that's pretty much what it looked like to me.
Yeah, it looks like everything's running a nice slow speed. Tons of CGI everywhere.
Yeah.
But my number one problem with this is 300 was such a perfect story, and the story that you're seeing in Rise of an Empire, it's pointless.
Yeah, it didn't seem too appealing. I don't know.
You're not picking it up where the last battle actually ended up taking place. And that's a huge disappointment in my eyes. Because it actually showed you in the end of 300, David Wenham, with the rest of the Spartans there, he brought the story back about the brave 300 and they were going against the army. I would like to see that story.
Yeah.
Not this other one that's jumping back and forth between first and second movies. Okay, Bryan Singer, the director who has brought us a lot of the X-Men movies, has announced the next film in the X-Men universe. It shall be X-Men Apocalypse. Apocalypse is quite possibly the most dangerous of the X-Men villains, just because it takes so much to try and stop him.
Have they announced any of the casting? Have they casted anybody for the roles in this film?
There's been no casting information as of yet, just that the title has been released and the release date has been locked in. They are looking at a May 27th, 2016 release date, which has me a little bit interested. If the X-Men movie is being released by Marvel Studios, which entirely possible it will be, because it's a Marvel product, that means it's going to essentially be coming from Disney. Well, releasing that exact same day from Disney is Alice in Wonderland 2. So the company is going to have two of its own films battling each other out in the box office.
See, usually when you get that, you get a change somewhere down the line. I'm sure that's what they're aiming for, is that release, but who knows if they'll actually meet that.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping they do, because the X-Men movie looks a heck of a lot more interesting than Alice in Wonderland 2, which I have no idea how you could make a sequel to Alice in Wonderland. Especially, this looks like the Johnny Depp version of Alice in Wonderland, which wasn't all that good. I like it, I like Johnny Depp, but give me the animated version any day of the week. Speaking of Disney, Disney and Paramount have made a deal allowing Disney to distribute any future releases in the Indiana Jones series. I can hear the fans out there cheering.
Yeah.
It means that there is going to be more Indiana Jones.
Yeah, the rumors started going around.
Oh, yes.
And then we heard about Harrison Ford trying to negotiate the spot, so...
Yeah, potentially using it as a bargaining chip.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Now, Paramount Studios will still hold distribution rights for the first 4 Indiana Jones films. That's Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Because they were their products originally.
Yeah.
All done before the sale.
And you know when the new one's coming out, like, that's when, like, the people that don't own the collection or don't own all of the DVDs or Blu-rays, that they're going to go, like, that's when people go and start buying them again.
Yes, I'm still waiting to pick up the box set myself, actually.
Yeah.
Moving over to the sci-fi world, writers have been acquired for the 13th Star Trek film. Or the 3rd Star Trek film, whichever way you want to look at it.
So is it continuing off of the new ones?
It's going to be the new cast,
Okay.
the new system.
Okay.
So, 13th or 3rd, whichever one you want to look at. No director named yet, no possible cast named yet, no hints at what the story is. Just the fact that writers have been hired and the work has begun.
Yeah. It was JJ that did the first 2, right?
It was JJ, yes.
Yeah.
And now that he's stepped over to Star Wars,
Yeah.
he's not going to be doing Star Trek, so they have to get somebody new.
That'll be interesting.
Now, there's no hints at a possible release date. However, if the writers are hired now, at the end of 2013, you are actually in good position to have the next Star Trek film tie up with the 50th anniversary of the series, which will be taking place in 2016.
That's interesting.
Yes, I hope they can get it ready for that point, because that will be right when everybody's buzzing about Star Trek. That's the perfect time to release it.
Yeah.
Now, 50th anniversary. There's a lot of things that have come out, like a lot of nerd things that have come out now that are hitting 50th. Just this past month, we had Doctor Who hit 50th. And moving over into movie releases, the 50th anniversary of Mary Poppins came out on Blu-ray last night. It's a good Disney movie. It's not one of my personal favorites.
See, it's one of those movies that I watched a lot as a kid.
Oh, I watched a lot of it, but it's not one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, I admit, I haven't seen it in years. Like, I probably own it on VHS and haven't watched it since then.
Yeah, I still have the clamshell actually sitting at my house, so it's VHS only for me on that one as well.
Yeah.
Also, releasing on Blu-ray, we have Futurama Season 8. That's good to see. I'm glad they're getting all the seasons out.
Yeah.
It's a shame that the show ended.
Yeah, see, I was always a fan of the show, but...
I was more of a fan of Futurama than I was of The Simpsons.
Yeah, see, like, it was, I don't know, like, I like them both equally, honestly, but Futurama, it's a different type of humor, but it kind of seemed like it was dying, like, they kept doing the same kind of storylines in every episode.
Yeah, now I don't know if the episode has come out yet, but there is going to be a crossover between Futurama and Simpsons.
That would be interesting.
It's planned, because Futurama's now over and done with.
Yeah, that would be cool.
We also have here Blu-ray release of Fast and the Furious 6. Came out yesterday.
I know that since Paul Walker died, like, they've been pushing all of that stuff pretty hard now. I know the soundtrack is up on iTunes. I'm pretty sure it's one of the top soundtracks.
Oh, of course it is.
In the soundtracks section.
Yeah. Well, also we have Despicable Me 2 in both 2D and 3D combo pack formats has come out. I saw maybe the last half an hour of Despicable Me 1.
See, I own it, and I know it's a movie I've seen multiple times. I don't know, it's alright. Honestly, it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Like, in the trailers and everything, it kind of came off as it seemed like it would be really funny, but I don't know. It was alright, though. It's worth a watch.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly my type of movie.
No.
Now, jumping back into the... maybe not the 80s. It would have to be the 90s now from the look of it. The 25th anniversary of the movie Big is coming out on Blu-ray. Now, you said earlier that you hadn't seen this movie.
I don't believe so.
Have you ever recalled a scene from a movie where Tom Hanks is playing a piano that's set in the floor by jumping up and down on the keys?
No, I can't say.
The Simpsons have done a parody of it.
Okay,
with Homer on the keyboard.
I've seen the parody. I know I've seen that.
Well, that's from Big.
Huh.
He ends up having a wish granted as a child, turns him into an adult, and now, but he still has the mind of a child, just in an adult's body. As such, he ends up landing a job somehow. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, so I can't really remember it. He ends up getting a job as a consultant for a toy company. And all the toys that he can think of, they end up making. Starts off good, ends up bad. In the end, he goes and finds the fortune teller to try and get his wish taken away.
Huh.
It's a decent family film from the 90s.
See, I'm surprised I haven't seen it. Maybe I did when I was younger, but...
You probably did, and it just slipped your mind.
Yeah, it's one of those movies I probably just seen once and just kind of forgot about it.
It may not have been the 50th anniversary, but it still hit a milestone. Ron Moore's Battlestar Galactica series. That fantastic high-definition version of Battlestar Galactica that was on the Sci-Fi Network or Space Network, depending on where you were in the country. On this past weekend, it hit its 10th anniversary. This is a series. I love this series. Its story is extremely compelling. Even though it's a story that's been done in the 70s, they gave it new life. And visually, it's outstanding to behold what they can do. You've never seen any of this?
I've seen the odd episode here and there. But it is nice to see, like, with the technology in film nowadays, to see the old sci-fi stuff kind of get, like, a revamp even in, like, the visual departments and, like, all that stuff. Like, any sci-fi stuff from way back in, like, the 70s and stuff, when they try to, like, bring it back and redo it. Like, it doesn't have to be exact. Like, some fanboys, I guess, get kind of picky about the storylines on where they're going to go. But if you look at it just for, like, bringing it up to, like, today's standard, it's nice to... Or, when did the new series start? What year, roughly?
Well, with it this weekend being 10 years ago, it started in 2000.
So, yeah, like, it's relatively new. So, like, it's definitely different than in the 70s. That's for sure.
Very much so. In fact, what they actually aired on screen is not what you see on the Blu-ray edition. Because they couldn't air to television the full high-definition footage that they were capturing when they were recording it. So when you watch it on Blu-ray, you're seeing as the director actually intended, and it's mind-blowing.
See, that'll be interesting for movies that are filmed right now. Like, we know The Hobbit is getting filmed in 5K resolution, and those TVs are just starting to get, like, released, and they're very expensive right now. So it'll be interesting to see if that tradition kind of continues. When those prices come down, everybody owns 5K TVs, and if you can go back and if they'll, like, revamp, like, The Hobbit and, like, all the new movies that are getting shot in that resolution, that'll be interesting.
It will be, yeah. I don't know if... I think they might actually just upload or output full definition quality anyways to the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But
still,
it might have to come down to a change in the Blu-ray medium.
Yeah, that's true.
Or an upgrade in the Blu-ray medium.
I'm sure there will be down the line.
I don't want another change. I'm not buying another collection of discs. It's not happening.
It won't be disc by that time, I'm sure of it.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Considering Hobbit's recorded on
it's
portable hard drive cards.
Yeah.
Oh well. What can you do? You know what? There's one trailer that I did see just the other day that had come out. It's for a film Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah, I checked this one out.
This is a film from, it's a sci-fi thriller from the Wachowski brothers, who are the team who brought you The Matrix. It looks, it caught my interest.
It caught my interest. I think it's definitely way more appealing than that new Keanu Reeves movie.
Okay, it does look way more appealing than 47 Ronin.
It does. When I seen the first couple scenes in the trailer, I was kind of skeptical. I was like, "Oh, where's this going?" And then once you get the whole trailer done with, you're like, "Actually, that's pretty interesting."
Yeah, no,
and the CG is really high quality.
Yes, this film is starring Sean Bean,
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis, yes, and
I can't think of it. I should have wrote it down.
I know he's in Magic Mike. I know he's
Channing
Tatum.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah,
he's in it. He's actually one of the main stars. It's him and Mila Kunis who are the main stars in this movie.
The first thing that caught, like the first scene where you see his ears, he has like elf ears or something like that kind of. I was
well,
like,
he's not from Earth.
I know.
He's from Jupiter.
But really, did you have to like go? I don't know.
I know. Did really a sci-fi movie
with
when the Hobbit's being brought out and everybody's going back to Middle Earth? Did he have to have somebody else with elf ears?
Yeah.
Seriously,
it seemed a little weird.
It seemed a little rough.
Yeah.
Anyways, back when I was little, back a good number of years ago, I believe I would be 5. I think it was 1989 is how far we're jumping back here. There was a time slot on television that was, in my opinion, fantastic. I always made it home to catch this time slot. The time slot was running between 1:30 and 3:30. To the best of my recollection, it's 1:30 or 3:30. And this was a time slot held entirely by Disney, and they called it the Disney Afternoon. The quality of cartoon that we got back then puts the quality of what's passing for children's programming on television today to shame.
That's exactly it, man. Like I've said multiple times, like if I'm gonna have children, I'm gonna have to force them to watch what I watched when I was a kid.
Start them on the retro.
Yeah, you have to start on the retro.
Just because, and if they want to watch the new stuff, they can watch the new stuff.
Yeah.
But start them on the retro.
Yeah.
It's just there was more time, there was more thought. They didn't treat you as mindless automatons.
Yeah.
They gave you a cartoon that had story or morals or even continuing story over multiple episodes linked in. And, for a 5-year-old, that was rare to do. Because you're expecting a 5-year-old to follow an episodic story over 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
over the course of 5 weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
They might not remember it. But it was really well done. So, to celebrate the fantasticness that was Disney Afternoon, we've put together a collection of songs for our nostalgic break here on Nerds of the North with 102.7 Shop FM from the Disney Afternoon Studio Choir. This is the group who performed all the songs. And I've set them up for you in the same order they would have played had they been on the Disney Afternoon. So, we're here to start off our nostalgic break. Nerds of the North will be back after you guys sit back and enjoy the Gummy Bears theme song. Welcome back to 102.7 Shop FM. We are the Nerds of the North. DJ Padawan here.
DJ Bonobo.
Thank you for sitting down and listening to a good old break on the Disney Afternoon there with us. Again, these were theme songs all from a fantastic era of television. We started off with Gummy Bears theme. The show was called The Adventures of Gummy Bears. Following up that, we had the DuckTales theme song, which is easily one of the biggest earworms you can possibly think of.
Yeah, for sure.
After that, we followed up with my personal favorite cartoon from when I was a child, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. And finishing up there was the actual, not extended version, because I couldn't find it, the Darkwing Duck theme. all these shows played in different time slots. Unfortunately, Darkwing didn't play with these other three. It came in season 3 of Disney Afternoon, but you know what? Figured
Yeah.
they all fit really well together. Let's get the cartoon music out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So that finishes up our nostalgic break there, and what do we have going on in the world of video games this week?
Well, no major releases to talk about. There was an arcade game that came out for the Xbox One. It's another addicting arcade game. This time it's Peggle 2. I personally downloaded Peggle, the first Peggle. It's just a really addicting. It's kind of hard to explain. It's almost like a pinball game where you shoot a ball and try to hit all the targets before the ball drops off screen. When it drops off screen, you get a new ball. You have to try and hit all the targets within a certain amount of balls that you have. So I don't know, it's really addicting. This one cost $11.99, which I think, I don't know, it's no different than the previous arcade games for the Xbox. They all range between $10 and $15, some of them even more than that. I have some more gaming news. It's kind of a news week other than release week.
News.
There was a fake Fallout 4 teaser.
I saw that.
Yeah, there was a website that had it. A lot of people got hyped up about it. I personally didn't go check it out because it was all rumor at that point. Like, people weren't too sure about it. But the rumor that still stands out for everybody, I know Kotaku released an article saying that this is really likely that the game is going to take place in Massachusetts. They're saying it's Boston, which it's probably the main city there anyways, so I'm guessing that's where it would be. It seems plausible. I don't have no reason to doubt it, but at the same time, it's not confirmed, so we don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
In other news, there's a new add-on for DC Universe set for early 2014 release for the PC, PS3, and PS4.
Mm-hmm.
This is I actually didn't know there was a lot of I knew there was some DLC out for DCU, but this is going to be the 9th add-on. It's going to be new characters, new weapons, all that fun stuff. So.
Trying to breathe some more life into the...
Yeah,
because there's so many free-to-play games out there right now.
There is, but now that it's releasing onto the PS4, I'm sure it'll even pick up a little more steam.
Oh yeah, well it's been free on the PlayStation. Well, obviously it's free-to-play, but it's been advertised. Gotta get it.
Yeah, we picked it up when it was not free-to-play, obviously.
Yeah, I still have my PS3 version of it.
Yeah. Other news, have you heard of a game called Pillars of Eternity?
Pillars of Eternity. This sounds like some type of RPG.
Yes, it definitely is. It is an RPG by Obsidian, the company who brought you Fallout New Vegas, Alpha Protocol, Neverwinter Nights, and they're currently working on the South Park game with Ubisoft. So...
I like you.
Yes, so this was actually a game that started on Kickstarter, a new trend going on. I believe it was sometime last year that it was funded. The goal that Obsidian wanted to get to was $1.1 million. They reached just under $4 million with 75,000 backers. So 75,000 people pledged money for this game. They blew past their mark, and they are currently... it was just a teaser trailer that was released. I don't think they've set a date yet, but they need to get something out there to let everybody know that it's actually coming. When you look at the trailer, it instantly reminded me of Diablo. It is a top-down kind of point and click. I'm not sure if this is going to be console and PC.
My most hated type of RPG game.
Well, yes, it didn't seem to be turn-based or anything crazy, too much, but it is action. On the screen, you've seen 4 players at once running through like dungeons and all that.
Well, it is good that like I did enjoy the play style for Diablo 3.
I really like it. I like the simpleness. It's just one of those games you can kind of sit there and not have to like get too worried about, I don't know, getting complicated and stuff. It's really just simple.
Yeah, but for me, my most favorite RPG style, without going into the Oblivion or Skyrim world, which are good, but they're an entirely different breed of RPG, I like the Knights of the Old Republic style.
Okay, yeah. They actually made that as well, Obsidian. I didn't list that one, but they made the second one.
Yeah, the second one had better mechanics, but a horrible story. The first one had rough mechanics, but an amazing story.
See, what they were talking about on the Kickstarter page is now that games are getting started on Kickstarter, and especially the mainstream market is kind of turning their head away from making M-rated games.
Mm-hmm.
So the Kickstarter thing kind of brings the M-rated games back into the question. So they are looking for pretty much no limits. They can do what they want. They can do what the fans want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I don't know how far they're going to go into that with like the M rating, but I would imagine they're going to do it. Did you never played Fallout, did you?
I have the Game of the Year edition for my PlayStation 3.
Okay.
I think I've stepped outside the vault.
See, I don't know. I was really skeptical about it because I never even played Oblivion before I played Fallout.
That was my problem. I had beaten Oblivion and was on my third playthrough of it before I even got Fallout, and I couldn't switch between the two.
That's the thing. I couldn't get into Oblivion after playing Fallout. So I played Fallout 3 well after it came out. Like, I heard good things about it. I was like, I don't know how good this could be. Got into it and instantly got hooked. Mm-hmm. And then when New Vegas got announced, I couldn't wait for that game. I'm pretty sure I went to a midnight release for that one.
I picked up New Vegas, and maybe about 4 months after getting it, I think I gave it back to Microplay.
Yeah, see, I don't know, I guess I really liked it. Like, obviously Fallout is Oblivion with guns, and when you when you try and go back to Oblivion and you have
I'd rather have a bow and arrow.
Yeah, see, like, it was
perfectly honest.
I don't even think I've gotten out of the starting area in Oblivion, like where you start out in the sewers or like underground somewhere.
I would spend 3 to 4 hours in there just leveling my skills so that when I stepped out, I was a tank.
Yeah. In other news, Elder Scrolls Online gets a release date.
PC.
Yeah, it's looking like we're gonna head for the PC because the PC version of Elder Scrolls Online releases on April 4th, 2014, with the next gen consoles getting it sometime in June 2014.
I'll get it on my next gen console, but I am picking it up on PC.
Yeah, I want it right away when it comes out. So
I want to play that game like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that I didn't get into the beta. I don't know, maybe it was because my system requirements. I hope not.
Oh, if the system requirements for this game exceed either of our laptops, we are going to be
it's not going to be
awestruck.
Good. Yeah, it's going to be not good. But yes, I'm really looking forward to that game. Microsoft has come out and announced that they have sold 2 million consoles worldwide in 18 days. Just 10 days ago, Sony announced that they've sold 2.1 million. But the catch is PS4 is available in 32 countries. That's 19 more than the Xbox. So, but then at the same time, like, I don't know, it kind of goes both ways with that.
Mm-hmm.
They're both neck and neck in certain markets.
They are neck and neck. It's going to take the long term to tell.
Yeah, it is for sure.
What's going to be the major boon right now is which company is going to be able to get systems into the stores for holiday shopping.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We're hitting prime holiday shopping, and because A, I have one, B, I'm a video game collector.
Yeah.
I am getting questioned every single day by multiple people. Do you know where I can find a PS3? Do you know where PS4? Where can I find a PS4?
Yep.
Where can I find an Xbox One? I don't know. Go talk to DJ Bodaba.
Yeah, I actually know some people in the States that bought multiple Xboxes, and they are selling them to like friends and people who need them for the holidays and stuff. They're selling them for retail price. They're not making a profit. But I don't know. I should have been smart and did that. Kind of a good segue into that.
I was smart. I pre-ordered mine.
Yeah, that's true. If you could have pre-ordered more though. But
why? Let everybody else pre-order one.
Yeah, I guess so. And these consoles have yet to be released in Japan. But
I highly doubt Xbox One's going to get released in Japan.
Oh,
I don't think they have a market for it at all.
It will. The 360 didn't do so well, but still.
No. Japan's already currently totally in love with their Vita TV.
Nintendo sales. This is for Japan. Just to give you an idea how much they're selling there, it's probably roughly the same here. This is just a week time from December 2nd to the 8th. They sold 125,000 3DSs, which that's quite a bit for a week. The Wii U sold almost 50,000 units. Yeah.
Oh, there's no difference in those numbers, not at all.
Well, this is holiday season, so you gotta think about it. There's no next gen in Japan yet, so it's either you're going and buying your kids PS3 games, or you're gonna go out and buy the new Wii or the 3DS.
I am thoroughly in love with my Wii U, and no one's going to take it away from me.
I do plan on getting one eventually.
You should. You really should, especially now with the bundles coming out where you pick it up with 2 games.
Yeah, I seen that on TV actually. It does.
So you pay the original price for the system.
Yep. But
you'll get 2 games, and the best bundle to pick up for that is obviously the Super Mario Brothers bundle. So you'll get Super Mario World, you'll get new Luigi World or Luigi Brothers, and then for your 1 game, why not go out and buy Super Mario 3D World, 3D Land?
Yep.
So you'll have 3 fantastic games to play. You're never going to run out of time, and they're all multiple player.
That's true. See, I should...
and pick up your single-player games on the eShop.
I should talk my little brother into asking for a Wii U so I don't have to...
So you have an excuse to buy it and not have to worry about it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, he asked for one? Well, I guess I have to buy one then, now, don't I? I don't have to feel so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm already in that boat.
Yeah. There was... See, I don't know if these are Japan stats or not, but... Pokemon X and Y has sold over 3 million copies. I don't know if that's worldwide or just Japan. It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either way.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
But because think of how many people out there bought both of them.
Yeah, yeah, you're one of them.
Of course, I'm one of them.
I'm surprised I didn't. I don't know. I'm over it.
I've actually gifted one away, so.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense. And then another stat was Gran Turismo 6, which just came out.
Which you're obviously enjoying.
Yeah, so this wouldn't have gotten the full week treatment, so I don't know if this is worldwide. Like, this just would have been 2 days, so they've sold 200,000 units, which is supposedly way less than Gran Turismo 5 did.
Well, look at the waiting time between Gran Turismo 5 compared to Gran Turismo 6.
And then some people were saying even the release date, Gran Turismo 5 came out on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, the typical gaming release day, whereas this one came out on a Friday.
Yep.
So the numbers of how much were sold probably weren't as well, like it doesn't, because the end of the week, right? I guess they cut off week sales on Friday or a Sunday.
Yeah.
So it kind of made it seem worse than it really is, probably.
Well, it's hard to pick, sales numbers for something that only just came out. I know we did it for consoles, but a console sells a lot different than an actual game disc sells.
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh yes, there's
what else?
A new Assassin's Creed DLC. Did you see this? Have you played your Assassin's Creed recently? No.
I probably would get so many people who are looking for a PlayStation 4 very, very mad at me right now by saying, my PlayStation 4 actually isn't even hooked up right now.
Ah.
It's sitting...
Well, you've been wanting to travel with it over to my house.
It's still sitting in the backpack.
Yeah. Sad. But anyways, this is one that I think you knew was coming anyways. This was released yesterday, so you can go and pick it up now. It's multiplayer characters. It has Blackbeard, the Jaguar, and the Orchid. It's a $2.99, so $3. I'm guessing it's just the characters. And they all have different skills.
Yeah, it's just going to be the skills for the multiplayer game.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is.
I didn't pick the game up for the multiplayer game. I picked the game up for sailing on the high seas.
Yes, and as would I when I pick it up. Multiplayer in Assassin's Creed games never really, I tried to get into it. It didn't really appeal to me that much.
No.
Not at all.
That's not a multiplayer game, in my opinion.
No, definitely not. Another little thing I seen the last minute before I left. Pokemon they released the soundtracks for Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Wow.
Yes, so
that's going way back.
Yeah, I don't know, and apparently there's more to come. They're going to start releasing all these retro soundtracks from the old. I don't know if they're just going Pokemon or if they're talking retro games in general.
Interesting.
There's over 90 tracks on this album, so it's pretty much every single song in those games. It'll run you $12. It is currently number 8 on iTunes top albums in the soundtrack section, and this is for iTunes Canada, obviously. And I'm pretty sure this just came out today. So obviously all the nerds were paying attention online and seen this and went and bought it.
Yes.
I actually listened to a couple of the previews and oh man,
of course you would.
It brought back some memories.
Well, I can actually hook up my Game Boy SP, and I can play my Leaf Green.
Whereas I cannot.
No.
I'd have to steal my little brother's old
school DS.
Yes. Which I just haven't done.
Now, I don't know if we spoke about this last week at all, but the announcement for Tomb Raider.
I don't know if we did mention that.
Tomb Raider had a fantastic game come out for the 360 and PS3. It was so well received, and everybody enjoyed it. The developers of it, there's news had come out that the developers were unhappy with the restrictions they had to do to make it fit on the PlayStation 3 or for the 360.
Yep.
So what they did after they released it is they disassembled the game entirely, cranked everything up to 11 where they wanted it to be, and have repackaged the game to be released January 26th, I believe. Don't quote me on that date, but it is in January. They will be releasing Tomb Raider Definitive Edition with all available DLC included on the disc for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, that's epic.
They are pushing the Tomb Raider system right to the end. Now, I've watched a couple of friends play Tomb Raider on both the PS3 and the 360, and I almost bought it about 3 times now when I've gone into stores.
It was a really good looking game.
It is good, but what stopped me from buying it is going, no, I'm not going to keep buying for old gen. I'm going to start my new gen collection, and now that they're bringing it to new gen, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. That's good news for sure.
That is very good news.
That's pretty much all I have for gaming news. We do have a couple extra little things for movie news.
There's bits and pieces floating around there for movie news, as there always is.
Yeah, the one I heard, Peter Jackson is likely to start on Adventures of Tintin 2 after The Hobbit is over and done with, everything's finished.
Yeah, which will be about a year after the third part comes out, because Jackson likes to take his time on the extended editions.
Yeah,
which is amazing, by the way.
I can't recall when the first one was released.
What, the first Hobbit or the first Fellowship?
The first Tintin movie.
Oh, Tintin.
I can't recall. It wasn't that long ago.
No.
It was...
Maybe 2 to 3 years?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 to 3 years ago?
I do remember when it was released. I haven't checked it out. I haven't watched it. But it was Peter Jackson and Steven Spielberg both worked on this movie.
Two fantastic movie collaborators. The last project I heard rumored of them collaborating on was the Halo movie.
Yeah, man, that would have been...
That would have been fantastic. Jackson and Spielberg doing Halo.
Yeah, it still needs to be done. I will not stress that enough. They need to make that movie.
And you want to get fans freaking out. You want to get the noise. You want to get the ground buzz going for the Halo movie. If you don't think that it's even out there, this is all you have to do for the trailer. Okay?
Yeah.
You show them. You show military officers gathering up a bunch of kids. You see all these kids, playing different games, things like King of the Hill or Capture the Flag type games. And then you have one kid standing on top of the hill. And he just won the whole King of the Hill game. And have a woman walk up to him. It's like, oh, well, you're doing pretty good there. Well, my name's Dr. Catherine Halsey. What's yours? My name's John.
Yeah.
Done.
Trailer ends.
That's all you need. As soon as you hear the name John, cue the Halo music, you're good to go.
Yeah, that's pretty epic.
That's all you need. And if you want any more of an idea as to how awesome a Halo movie would be, pick up the first Halo novel. Fall from Reach. It is outstanding. It's the entire Spartan training process, including like the Flash clones, the whole augmentation process that they have to go to, and the massive failure rate that she suffered because her program was so specific. But wow, you see these kids come out in the end, and like what people don't seem to understand, when you pick up Halo and you're playing Master Chief for the first time, you're playing a 16-year-old.
Yep.
He's about 16.
Yep.
He's just, 7 feet tall because they put extra bone in him.
Yeah, genetically modified 16-year-old.
Oh, hugely genetically modified.
But then another thing, when I was looking at the news today, I rewatched the Microsoft press conference for E3, the latest one.
Oh, you mean the press conference with the fake clapping?
Yes, and no.
Because
didn't happen.
It showed everybody clapping, or you heard everybody clapping. You look at the audience, and nobody's moving. They're all glaring at the screen.
That's how it is at E3, though. But
not for the PlayStation exhibit. Thank you very much. People were jumping out of their seats.
Yeah, but
victory for PlayStation.
The announcement for the Halo live-action series. I totally forgot about that, and I still can't.
That looks very good.
I still can't wait for that. Just having a series is good enough for me, as long as it's done right, which I would imagine it will be.
Well, look at what was the video that came with Halo 4?
Yeah.
Forward Until Dawn.
Yes, I was drawing a blank on that. I was trying to think of it.
The video Forward Until Dawn is how you do live-action Halo properly.
That was epic.
So amazing. Like, when you get about 3 or 4 episodes in, if you happen to watch it in episodic format, or if you were one of the few people who managed to get their hands on a collector's edition, legendary edition.
Yep.
You got access to the Blu-ray. And watching this in solid streaming format, it was beautiful. I really liked it. And then, like, when you see the Covenant attack, you see some of the weaponry fire, you see the Invisible Elite.
Yeah.
That was so well done. And right when he's ready to get the kids, the Elite drops.
Yeah.
Lights turn on, and there's the Chief.
You're coming with me.
In full armor.
Yeah.
And what did it for me, because I've read that book, what did it for me is when he rescues those kids, not captures, when he rescues the kids, you hear him call out, Kelly, we're on the way.
Yeah.
Chief is part of a 4-man squad.
Yep.
And this squad is outstanding.
Yeah. You get the shot of them in the helicopter afterwards. Everybody has their helmet off.
Except for Chief.
Yes.
Chief does remove his helmet, but you never see his face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I want them to do that so badly. So, pretty much that's it for us for the week?
Yep. I would say so, unless you want to talk about the Godzilla trailer.
I want to watch more of the Godzilla trailer.
Yeah, I recommend watching it in HD.
My issues with Godzilla is last time America tried to do a Godzilla movie, we got Zilla.
Yeah.
Yes, they called it Godzilla, but that fish-eating lizard
Yeah, no.
was not Godzilla.
No.
It did not sound like Godzilla. It did not move like Godzilla. It did not look like Godzilla.
Yeah.
Godzilla is iconic. And why would you change the design of something that iconic? It shouldn't have happened. I'm happy to see that his roar sounds original. His look is really looking original. I want to see if he has his fire breath or not, or atomic breath as they call it. I want to see that.
Well, you did see some explosions there that kind of seemed a
That
little...
can happen from him breathing on something.
Yeah.
Like just looking at it and going, huh, I'm bigger than you.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be in the film.
I'm hoping it is, but I want to wait until it's more than a teaser that comes out. I want to see a theatrical.
Yes.
And then I'll make my decisions based upon it. But coming into the end here for our show on this fantastic station, 102.7 Chop FM. Thank you for listening. This is DJ Padawan.
And this is DG Bodwell.
Since we started off with 2 songs from the Hobbit movie, and in honor of Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, coming out this Friday, we're going to close with another song from The Hobbit. This is actually a song that's played during the credits.
Yep.
From a New Zealand musician, Neil Finn. This is The Song of the Lonely Mountain.